you know,
Absolutely.
that's one of the bigger challenges because when people get their routines.
Mm-hmm.
And you have your business routines of what you do, and I'll just share a little insight of what an asset manager faces.
Okay.
We get an asset in. They have to assign it out. It goes into a computer. A computer goes and says, first we'll normally, if it's a suburban area, we'll start within 5 miles or 10 miles of that property. What agents are the closest?
Right.
And generally they'll get 15 or 20 names pop up on their screen.
All
the
right.
first thing an asset manager does is just thumb through that to see if there's any names they recognize.
Okay.
Anyone I've done business with.
Right.
That's usually who they'll go to first.
Okay.
Second is they'll look at, okay, well, what experience do these people have? Do they have any, have they done the educations? Do they have the certifications behind their name? One, are they preferred in our system?
Mm-hmm.
That's second, or I should say the second is they'll choose if they're preferred. Next, they'll use, have they gone through the certifications? Does it look like a person who has really gone through the test and done that?
Right.
And then fourthly, it's you're shooting fish in the, you're just throwing it out there to see who will do it is kind of the last case scenario. So is there a way to work with the organizations? Sure. We just have to figure out how to place it in there so we can get some business to people who want to do that.
I certainly believe that we can work that out and make that happen, and I'd like to really explore it.
Okay. No, sounds
Thank
good.
you.
All right. Well, Jay, Anita is the president of the California State Board of Realtors, the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. So, Anita, his contact information is on the flyer, and I'll make sure he gets your information so you two can connect.
Thank you so much.
You're very, very welcome. Thanks for being on the call today.
All right.
Operator, next question.
Our next question comes from Lily. You may begin.
Good morning, Eric. It's Lily.
Good morning, Lily.
As usual, great call. My question is with regard to the certification course fee. If we wanted to take advantage and pay for it so as to freeze the price, how long will we be allowed to complete the course online?
Oh, good question. We give agents 30 days to complete it, which is usually more than enough time. I really haven't had, well, I should say, every once in a while there's someone who gets buried with something or other, but that's so rare. We give extensions if you need it, but most people don't need more than a week to get through and do it, but we give you 30 days.
Okay, very good. So, just in case if timing becomes an issue, they can at least take advantage of the lower cost and then maybe complete it 2 weeks down the road.
Oh, yeah, sure,
okay.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Yeah, so great question, Lily. You don't have to complete the course by Monday, 5 o'clock. You just have to buy the course by Monday,
right.
5 o'clock, if you want to take advantage of the huge discount. 100 bucks first. 100 bucks, folks. All right. Any other question, Lily?
Nope, that's it for this morning.
All right. Thank you. Next question, operator.
Our next question comes from Adrena. You may begin. Adrena, your line is open. Please check your mute button.
Oh, I apologize. I had it on mute. I'm so sorry. Hi, Eric. Good afternoon. This is Adrena Tiffany calling from the Stockton area. And I was just wondering if they're actually servicing assets in the Central Valley.
Great question.
Yes, actually the Central Valley is a very hot area right now. We're getting more and more. A lot of state employees and so forth live in that area. So we see a lot of stuff right now in that area.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Next question, operator.
Our next question comes from Michael. You may begin.
Yeah, hi. This is Mike Gutierrez. I'm out of Pomona, California.
Hi, Mike.
Good. I was wondering if you guys heard of anybody actually closing a bulk sale real estate. I've been chasing that for like a year and a half, trying to get a bulk sale together. And lately, Freddie Mac, I'm approved as a bulk sale agent, but I have to wait for the moratorium or something.
Right. And you'll also find that Freddie Mac does not have great pricing, or at least I have never found any buyers that are up to purchasing that. Do bulk sales happen? Yes, they do. But unfortunately, majority of the time it's by those who are in the inn. And it's very, very difficult to get in the inn. It's because it's mainly an institutional play, and the stuff that's left over usually isn't at any kind of aggressive price that makes sense. So, yes, there are. I've seen a little bit smaller, more useful stuff in the commercial side than the residential side. The residential side pricing just hasn't been good at all. But I always advise people to be very careful. Talk about getting fragmented. You can waste so much time chasing bulk transactions. I've seen it really bring down some great agents because they're chasing ghost.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your all your information. I really do. Very helpful.
Good. Well,
thank you.
Love to help you, and I know it's not the question a lot of people, or the answer a lot of people like to hear on the bulk, but that is such a challenging challenge. I mean, I think there's been a lot of misinformation and misservice about that whole side of the business.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you. Next question, operator.
Our next question comes from Trinidad. You may begin.
Yeah. Hi. Hi, Eric.
Hi.
Hello. Do you offer commercial real estate BPO training with your program?
Oh, great question.
That's actually a very good question. And we're actually, and have been asked by our clients actually, to build out that training course, which will probably be an addition or adjunct to that base course, because there's not a ton of differences, to be honest with you, because again, what the training is based on is so that you understand the parameters and really what an asset manager is looking for. What does an asset manager look for and see when they're grading your BPO? That's really what you're learning. So when it comes down to commercial, there's really not that much of a difference in the grading criteria. So, but we are looking at some of the small differences involved with that. But for right now, because we don't, one thing I would advise, and I didn't mention it before because we didn't get into the commercial, but when you're putting in your resumes and you're filling in the forms, especially for Infinity, if you do commercial or if you're interested in commercial, comment that. Because when we're looking for commercial agents in our system, we'll look for those that are preferred. And then if you have in your little bio there that, hey, I do commercial also, then we're going to be more likely to choose you.
Okay, because I have done many residential BPOs, but I just don't feel comfortable doing commercial unless I get some type of training.
Right. You'll find that the most of the commercial that you'll see, though, is multifamily.
Oh, okay.
And if you ever did see something, I mean, if you're ever asked to, do a warehouse or something like that, or commercial land, obviously there's nothing wrong with going back to the asset manager and saying, you know what, I don't really feel competent in doing this. One of the better things to do, though, is go out and work with the commercial agents in your area. Say, hey, I have an opportunity here. Help me do this BPO. That's usually kind of a more aggressive way to get it done and, build that team around you.
Okay, good idea. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
You bet.
Next question, operator.
Our next question comes from Sherry. You may begin.
Yes, hello. My name is Sherry Jackson. I am the Second VP at Consolidated Board of Realtors. How are you, Eric, and how are you, Jay?
I'm doing great.
Thank you.
Okay, I spent last weekend with you, Eric, at our conference for KRAB. And I wanted to know, Jay, what criteria do you look for when the agents are brand new? How do you separate them as far as picking them versus some of the more experienced agents who want to get REOs and be on your vendor list to get chosen?
Great question, Jerry.
Very good question. And again, really what it comes down to, my asset managers aren't going to be so picky or selective when it comes down to, is this person super experienced or not super experienced? If they've gone through our course and we're giving them BPOs and we like the quality of BPO that we're getting back from them, we'll probably be giving that person the REO.
Wow.
And we're not going to be so picky on their experience, because we really look at the quality of the product we're getting back. Was it timely? Were there not any mistakes, or was it easy for us to QC it, I guess you should say? And if there were questions or further research that we need, were they really timely on getting back to us and clarifying?
Okay, so it's okay for you to say, okay, you did this BPO, but I need 2 additional comps that are within the 10%, minus or plus. Is that a ding on them because they didn't do that?
No, actually, I think that's one of the greatest opportunities a real estate agent can have, because it's an honest question about wanting to know more about the property. There's just more information needed, and if you're quick and you get that information back and it's competent, great. I think you really build that up, and the asset manager really appreciates it. Now, obviously, you have to remember a perfect BPO up front is always better. And you remember, when you're doing a BPO, you're telling a story. So make sure that someone who's never read this story before understands the complete story, with all of everything that's happening in the neighborhood. And,
sure.
That storytelling skill, which I really call is the art of the BPO, because there's the skill, the expertise of putting in data correctly, but then there's also an art form of being able to tell a story. And
wow,
that's really
okay.
masterful.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Sherry.
All right. You're welcome.
So, operator, we are way past our time. We're going to take just one more question. And so whoever you are, make it good. Make it good, because we've got to end this show. Jay has been so kind to give us all this time, and we've got to let him get back to being the president of Infinity National Asset Management. So last question, operator.
Our last question comes from Velma. You may begin.
Hi, I'm Adelma, and I was calling to find out, what if we're already certified with NAPOP, the National Association of Broker Price Opinion? Do we still need to get your certification?
Great question. I know NAPOP very well, and what we have found, yes. Simple answer to that question is yes, because we've found that we get the best results from our training.
Okay.
So that's kind of what we've put into place. But yes, I understand there are, even 5-Star has a good BPO training course. I know that there's a lot out there, but we understand and control the quality when it's through the NBSI course, if that makes sense.
Sure. Adema, any more questions?
Oh, no, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, Jay, I can certainly appreciate the fact that, advocating your course over any others is important, because, these are your assets. You are ultimately responsible for how quickly you can turn them around and get them sold, and you want to make sure that you can validate the knowledge and the experience and the education